Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Kelly Wentworth. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Kennebunk, Maine. I want to thank you for joining. If you are new to my channel, please say hello and let us know where you're from so we can welcome you. Once you pop on, say hello so I know you're there. Hi, Anne. How are you? Were your ears ringing last week? Hi, Vicki. Hi, Luann from Avon, Indiana. Wow, Lisa. Thank you, ladies, for popping on. You're making my night. Hey, Kim. Miss Diane. How are you? How's everyone doing? Yeah, your ears must have been ringing last week. Okay, I'm just checking. Everything looks good here on my end. Thank you for sharing, Luann. Just as a reminder, if you could share my video, that would really help me a lot. And if you do share, comment that you've shared, and your name goes into a drawing for a giveaway. And we'll be doing that shortly. Hi, June. Oh, did you fall asleep last week? How are you ladies doing? Miss Kim, how are you doing? You were on my mind again. We need to connect. We need to connect, girl. Okay, everything looks good. I hope you ladies are all doing well. Thank you for sharing my video. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So let me go down here and move a couple things. So last week, we do need to connect. Yes, Kim, definitely. Very soon. Thank you for sharing, ladies. I appreciate it. Okay, so last week, the giveaway for sharing my video last week was the needlepoint mini buttons. Is that correct? I believe that's correct because they were sitting here on my desk. Anybody remember from last week? I think that's what it was. I'm assuming that's what they're right here. So, and the winner for last week is Cynthia. And I'm not sure if Cynthia has popped on yet. If you see Cynthia, let her know she won the drawing for last week. In case I miss her popping on. And this week, I am going to be giving away a Saleabration stamp set from last year. This is called Lovely Lattice. This is a brand new one, but I used this set a lot, and it doesn't have any sentiment, so you can kind of make it what you want it to be with your other stamp sets. I made a lot of thank you cards using this. It's great for Mother's Day, an all occasion card. So this is the stamp set. I'm going to be giving this away this week. So make sure you share my video and comment that you've shared so you're in the drawing for that for next week. Oh, actually, let me back up. I will not be... No, we will be live next week. Next week, just a couple things I want to get my calendar cleared up with you guys. So next week is the last week of the month, the last Tuesday. So next Tuesday will be mystery stamping. And for those of you who've played along with mystery stamping, it's always a fun class. You all make a card. I will post the card recipe here on my page on Sunday. So 2 days before. That gives you time to prep your card. I will have a list of products for you to go ahead and prep. I'll have measurements, everything. And then Tuesday night we'll do mystery stamping. And that will be that's always the last Tuesday of the month. So I hope if you haven't tried that, you'll give it a whirl. So stay tuned for that. And then the following week, just a heads up, so I leave next Wednesday, fingers crossed, for my Aruba trip that was postponed because of COVID. So I am scheduled to leave a week from tomorrow. So hopefully that will happen. So I will be gone from I believe it's the September 29th to October 6th. So October 5th, there will be no Facebook Live on October 5th. So just mark your calendars on that in case you are looking for that. I will miss you guys, and I've got so much going on, and I'm just afraid I'm not going to be able. I'm not going to be here, so I'm not going to be able to like pre-tape one. I thought about that, but I'm just not going to be able to do that. So no class on Tuesday, October 5th. So we'll talk more about that. I'll remind you guys next week. But next Tuesday will be mystery stamping. Okay? Just a couple of other things. I cannot believe how fast time is going by. We have Saleabration. And just so you know, I am going to be highlighting my cards tonight from this catalog. I've tried to use this as much as I can from just to give you guys some ideas. And tonight I am going to be using the Feels Like Home stamp set. And let me tell you, a stamp set like this is really a lot of fun to play with, and I'll kind of get into some more details, but I'm going to share tonight some coloring options, like different ways that you can color. So we'll do one that's going to be sort of a regular one, and then I'm going to kind of step it up and show you different. I'm going to use watercolor, and I'm going to use the color pencils, which I love. So if you've not used those and you want to see how those are used, tonight will be a good class for that. But this is a beautiful set, and you can get this set for free for $50 of an order. So it's a beautiful set. There's lots of inspiration here in the catalog, but I've had a lot of fun playing with it. So if you guys have this, let me know. Hey Lisa, how are you? So a beautiful set. We're going to do coloring techniques tonight on ways to use this set. And but Saleabration's almost over. I cannot believe how fast time went by. So if you are thinking about joining, it's not too late. You can join my Stamping Up team. And it's a really good deal. It's always, the starter kit is always the best deal in the catalog. For $99, you get to pick $125 worth of product. You choose the product that you want. You'll get a paper pumpkin kit. You'll get free shipping and handling. But you'll also, during Saleabration, you'll also get an additional bundle that you get to pick from your choice out of these 12. And they are beautiful bundles. Some of them have punches, some of them have dies. You can't go wrong with either one of them. This is an additional gift for joining between now and the end of this month. And time is almost run out for that. So if this is something that you're interested in, again, people who are spending $50, $60 on an order, you spend a little bit more and you get all of this extra product. And if you want to just be a hobby demonstrator, discount shopper, that's fine. You don't have to do classes. You don't have to do videos. Just get a discount on your supplies. And it's a great way to go. And if you decide it's not for you, there's no harm, no foul. You just don't put any orders in and you'll drop. So you can't lose by doing it. So if this is something you're interested in or you want more information, please let me know and we can talk more about it. Okay? So again, I am going to be using the stamp set Feels Like Home, and it's on page 6. So let me get started with that. Hi Sharon, you have this set? Have you used it yet? this was the first time I used this set, so let me grab it. Hey. So this is the stamp set, and the other thing, I mean, this is the focal point stamp set, but with a stamp set like this, in all honesty, the stamp does all the work. The line art in this stamp set is gorgeous. And then you've got some really neat sentiments as well. You got this little plant pot, which I think is really cute. You got this little vine thing. But this is the star of the show. And I'm going to show you, like with the first one, like you don't even have to color it if you don't want to. Or you can. And we're going to do both tonight. So I'm just going to show you different ways to use this set. And Luann, you just won the set? Hey, Lori. Wow, that's awesome, Luann. Congratulations. Well, hopefully I will inspire you tonight to get some ways to use it. Okay, so let's get started. So the first card I'm going to show you is just sort of like using the line art as your focal point and not coloring. Okay, so I used... let me get, hang on. One second. Okay. So we're going to make this one first. Okay, and I'm going to show you, and if you can see up close, can you see I use some DSP in the background? So that is wood grain DSP, and you've seen me use this before. This is called In Good Taste, and if you don't have this paper pack, you want to get it. Number one, it's a double pack. Number two, it's all kinds of wood grains in different colors and lights and darks. It's beautiful. And so that's what we used on that. And then I also, let's put this aside. You can see that I embossed the front of the card base. And that is using a new embossing folder called Timber. Do you see the wood grain in there? How beautiful. So that's the card base. And we are going to actually stamp on this piece of DSP. Okay. So let me get, and I'm going to use Early Espresso as the ink. Now this is a big stamp. You could use the Stamparatus. Sometimes with big stamps, you might want to use the Stamparatus because if you don't quite ink it up appropriately, it's really easy to re-ink it and not have to worry about, getting it exact. I'm going to go with the block tonight and hope that I am able to do it without any boo-boos. Yes, Luann, I hope that I can give you some ideas on using this set if you just want it. Sure, Lisa, just message me separately and I can give you some more details. It's very, very simple. And we can talk more about it. Okay, so before I stamp this, I just want to give you the measurements of the DSP. We're going to cut it down, but it's about 4 3/4 by just about 4. But we're gonna actually cut it down a little bit. Okay. So we're going to stamp that right in the middle. Thank you, Anne. I hope you do like it. I think it makes a beautiful focal point on the card. You really didn't need to do a lot to it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. This stamp is just beautiful. Now, I also used the Early Espresso cardstock, and I used the, let me grab that. One of my go-tos, the Scallop and Contours, has all the different rectangles. It has the scallop rectangles. This, I use this set a lot. This is a really neat set to have in your stash. And I just cut out one of the scallops, and we're going to trim that down, and we're going to put that on there. So if you look at this, let me get my ruler. I'm going to show you how I did it. So the inside of this scallop is about 4, where the dotted lines are, by 2.5. Okay, so we're going to trim this down. I'm going to take some off of this end, and you're basically going to just try to get it by 2.5. So we're going to take off and I'm probably going to take a little bit more off here. Let's see how this looks. So basically you're just kind of cutting it down, and there, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I mean, I could cut maybe a little bit more off. It doesn't have to be exact. Because of the scallops, it's going to work. Oh yeah, use your, not just wood grain paper, and lots of paper. Yeah, that fits good. So that fits really good on there. Okay. And even the back side, look at how pretty this paper is. So we're just going to get that like right in the center, right where the, there we go. And see how that pops that? Okay, and then I'm going to use, so this is the Baker's Twine Essential Pack, another must-have in your craft. And look at all of these. You don't always need the ribbons, guys. These twines work really, really well, and it has all the neutral colors in it. So I'm going to pull out the Crumb Cake color. And what I did, and you don't, you know, again, you don't have to do this, but I just kind of brought it around a couple of times. And let me get my scissors here. And just to give it a little bit of something on the left side. And you can kind of stick them, it kind of fits really neat right in the scallops. I'm making a bow. Where's Karen? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to make a knot on this one. Just going to make there we go. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to stamp the sentiment, and I'm going to actually use this little piece here. I'm going to bring in the Early Espresso again. And this says, I can't thank you enough. Now, if you wanted just a thank you card, and you wanted to just do thank you, actually, you know what? Let me do that for you. Let me show you a way. Let me get my Early Espresso marker, and let's try it. We're going to take the Early Espresso marker. We're going to use the brush tip, and we're going to do just the thank you. And let's see if we can get it. If you didn't want all the other stuff, you can actually just adjust this stamp and just do the thank you. If you didn't have another thank you stamp somewhere in your arsenal, and then you're going to huff on it. Let's see if this works here. Oh, you know what? It worked, but my stamp wasn't clean enough. Do you see how it says I can't? Oh, actually, it actually came out pretty good. Do you see that? It has like almost like a, I'm not sure what color I used last on that, but it wasn't clean. Do you see that? But you can actually have it stand out like that, or you can just use it by itself as an option. So that's a neat way. That is really cool. Or if you wanted to do the thank you and you wanted it, you can actually use sticky notes on the end if you wanted to just, I'm going to actually, you know, I'm going to stick with my initial plan. But those are just some different options. All right, let me use the full one. And of course I rocked it. I'm really batting 1,000, aren't I? Okay. So let me going to trim it down. Now you can use scissors if you want to. No, I don't like that one. I'm being picky tonight. The other thing you can do is you can actually do it on the wood grain. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. This is for Anne. This is what we're going to do. Let me make sure it's clean. And we're going to stamp it on the wood grain and use that one to see how it comes out. Okay? What do you think? To match the inside of the scallop? Do you like that? I think I'm going to keep that. Hey, Cynthia. Congratulations, you won the last week's drawing. All right, and we're going to pop this up. Going to use up some of these dimensionals here. They're almost gone. Let's do it there. There we go. I finished it off. That's such a good feeling. All right, and we're going to center that like right there. You're very welcome. All right, one more here. Using your take your pick tool, that works really well. Okay, then you're just going to center that in there, maybe up a little bit because you want to put the saying. So I'll move it up a little bit. And then we'll put this down here, and we're also going to put that on dimensionals too. What do you think, Anne? This is what happens. Like, I design a card and then I kind of, sometimes I'm like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. We could change it up. Yeah, what do you think? Cute. So that is literally just stamping it either on cardstock or DSP and not even having to color it. The fine art design in this stamp really does all the work. But let me show you how we can step it up in the next card. And this is card number 2. Now on this card, I used the pencils, the colored pencils. And our colored pencils are, I mean, they work like, they're so easy to work with, they work like butter. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Okay. So on this one, the base card is Sahara Sand. I am going to change it up. Now the paper on this one is the free paper in the Saleabration. It's the deer paper. This set right here. Whoops. Yeah. But tonight, I thought, so this one is the back of this one right here. So even though this is Christmas paper, you can use this, I think, for any occasion. This is the deer is on the other side. See how pretty that is too? But I am going to use, tonight, we're going to use this one, which I thought, it's like birch trees. And given that this is a house, like the front of a house, I thought that might be pretty. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let me clean my stamp. Thank you. Aren't those colored pencils to die for? I mean, they color like butter. They glide, they don't tug and pull. Okay, I'm going to get that clean. All right, so we're going to go ahead and this is 4 by 5 1/4. Good. And you know the thing is, it's like when I get the pencils out, I use them for a while, then I don't use them for a while. So I was thinking this might be a good way to showcase them. So we're just going to stick this on like that. Now, another new item that's in the mini catalog is our new craft paper. This is 6 by 6 craft paper. You get 20 6 by 6 pieces in it. And I'm using a piece to layer underneath. And this is 3 by 4 1/8. All right, and what we're going to do is We used to have craft paper years ago, and I'm really happy that they brought it back. I'm just going to kind of tilt this a little crooked, maybe like that. And make this one. Okay, and now we're going to do the stamping. So we're going to bring the stamp back in. And on that one, we're going to use the Memento Black, and I'm going to be coloring with the colored pencils. Now you could also use, you know, smoky slate or a light gray. You know, you can use whatever you have. And again, the paper is bigger, then we'll cut it down. You've never seen the craft paper? I think... Actually, that came out kind of dark. A little bit darker than I wanted. I'm going to turn it over. And I think I am going to bring out a lighter color. I'm going to bring out the Sahara Sand. I think it might be with the gingerbread set, Lori. Maybe that sweet. I'm trying to remember. It's in one of the sweets. All right. I don't know if I remember if I used... We'll try the Sahara Sand and hope it's dark enough. Remember, paper has two sides. Okay. Yeah, I think it might be the gingerbread set, but I'm not sure. I had it sitting on my desk and I'm like, I need to use this. Okay, so now we're going to bring out the colored pencils. Let me grab those. So these are watercolor pencils. And we have, I think we have 2 sets in the catalog. I'm going to be using this set here. And we're literally going to just kind of color it in. I am going to color in. I'm going to use the red. And we're going to make a red door. And I'm just doing the inside of the door. Okay, and then we are going to use, I think we're going to use this is the Calypso Coral, and we're going to color in the baskets. And I'm going to show you how I blend with this after. Let me bring the picture in here. Now on this one, I did some purple containers over here. I think I'm going to do teal this time. And what we're doing is we're just kind of getting a pop of color. Okay, and then we're going to do and all I'm doing on the tree is just popping in this one is Old Olive. And we will make, we'll have maybe some yellow flowers down here. I'm just going to change it up a little bit. But what's going to make this, and again, you don't have to color it all in, guys. What you do is you take the blender pen, okay, these come in a 3-pack, and they have, and what you do is you just blend the color in, and it makes it almost look like it's wet. See how that's blending it in? I'll show you closer after. Now you only want to do one color at a time when you're doing the blending, and you don't have to, it's very forgiving. Okay, then you just kind of wipe it off. Okay, until there's no more color, and then you can kind of go into the other color, and you can kind of blend those in, and then you can just kind of wipe those off. And then you can do this color. And it gives it, can you see the effect? Is it showing up on camera, I hope? And then we're just going to do a little bit of the porch. And you don't have to do it all either. And then we can do a blue bike. And then I'm going to use the Early Espresso on the tires on this one. And I'm going to bring back the blue to do the top of the bike. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the gray to do the brick that's behind. And just kind of make shadows with it, and I'll show you what I mean. And this brick over here. You guys still with me? I know it's probably not a lot of fun watching me do a lot of coloring, so I'm trying not to do as much detail as I typically would. Alright, so let's do the shadowing here. then just a little bit on the bike. And it just kind of makes the color pop. Can you see that? And then I think I'll go in with even some little more green. We're going to use the teal with the old olive just to bring some different colors in there. And the thing about a line item stamp is you don't have to do every piece of it. And then we trim it down. Let me... Okay. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to trim this down. Again, it's going to be about a 3 by 4. Let's see. Because this will go like that, and then this one is going to go like this. See how that works? And again, if you want to put the twine on it, you can. It's the line item. What I'm talking about is the all the line detail that's in the stamp. And when you have a stamp that's designed this way with a lot of detailed lines, it really that's what I'm talking about. Like I call it like a line item. I mean, the stamps that, you know, it helps when you're coloring. It helps when if you don't want to color, you don't have to color. All right, so we're going to do some more twine. Okay. And again, you don't have to do the twine. You know, and you can put bling on it as well. There we go. And just kind of move it to where you want it. And a stamp like this, really, it just kind of does, like, isn't that pretty? Okay, and we're gonna need a piece of white. Hang on. Now on this one, what I did is I used the oval, and I actually have a scrap for the scalloped one, so we'll do that one. And then the smaller one, we're going to go ahead and we'll stamp first. And it says, I'm always and forever here for you, or your friendship feels like home to me. And I'm going to use that. Yeah, layers really can make a card, and they don't have to be full layers. You know, I don't know if you guys are really good at keeping scraps, but I keep my smaller pieces. And then you just put this in here. And then what I did is I layered it on there to match. So this one has this designer paper, and then this one will match this one. And then we'll pop that one up. Layers really can make what do you think? And you know what would really look, now I haven't done the inside, but you know what would really look cute is to do the little to stamp this on the inside in the corner would be really cute. I'm not sure who I'm giving these cards to yet, but that's probably what I will do. So two different, same designer series paper, the freebie in the Saleabration. Two different looks, but what do you think? They pretty? I have one more if you guys have time. I was going to do a watercolor one. So this one, same idea, except I'm going to use the watercolors instead. And you can see the difference in this is their pencils, and then this one is the watercolor. Okay. Now this one is Calypso Coral. This one I'm going to do in red, real red. So we're going to shake it up a little bit. So again, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to be using watercolor paper, and we sell this. It's to be used with the watercolors, obviously. All right, so I'm going to bring in a little bit of, let me move some of my stuff here. Clean up my mess. How many of you use the watercolor brushes that we have and use watercolors to do your painting, your coloring? What I thought tonight, it would just showing you different ways, like not only just to use the stamp set, but there's different techniques of coloring. Oh, hang on.
Call from Ford, Kent, and me.
It's a spam call. Sorry about that, guys. I usually unplug it. All right. So this is 3 by 4. Okay, and we're going to use that. Now we sell watercolor water painters in a 3-pack, and you just unscrew this and you put water in the tube here, and then there's a push button here. It says push, and that's how you get the brush wet. And I'm going to show you what I did. And the watercolor paper is perfect for watercoloring. It just absorbs the water. We're going to do a red door. I'm going to use real red, so really red. And what you do is, there's two different ways you can do this. Okay, whoops. Hang on. Yeah, the watercolor brushes are great. So there's two different ways you can do this. You can take your re-inker and you can open it up and you can put some re-inker in there. If you do the re-inker, I caution you, don't put a lot because it can run down and down through the case, okay? But you can put some in there. I tend to just squeeze this like this, and then you get your ink right where you need it, okay? And then what you do is you take your water pen and you just kind of swish it around to get a good color, okay? Hang on, I need to stamp it first. This one we are going to, this one we're going to use Stays On. Now you use Stays On jet black ink when you're using water, okay? If you're going to use water, you want to use your Stays On. This smells, Okay. So if you're going to use water, you want to use Stays On, not Memento. Well, good. Hopefully, Luann, I can share with you how to do this. Now, when you're using Stays On ink, we do have a Stays On cleaner. You want to use the Stays On cleaner or baby wipe because it's a different kind of ink, because see how this is kind of all, see that? Now, I actually, you know what I'm going to do? Hang on. I'm going to use my baby wipe first. I do have a stamp case cleaner that's just for Stays On, but I don't have it right here. So I'm going to use my baby wipe first and get most of it up. So that's cleaner will bring, it works wonders, okay? Then I'm going to and it comes out, look how nice and clean it comes out. So it works fine. Okay. So now we have Stays On ink on the watercolor paper, and we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start coloring in the door. Now the more water you put, the lighter the color will be. So if you want it like darker, you can just add more ink. And what I will say about watercoloring, now I am not a great, you know, I don't consider myself a great colorer. So, but I can do this technique and it works great. It's quick. I'm doing the inside of the door. For years we had a red door. We painted we redid our house, and I told my husband, I said, I want a red door. Something about a red door. Okay, so there's the red door. Okay, then you just clean it on your napkin. And the next color, I'm going to take cinnamon cider. Again, you're going to make sure you have enough in your case. And I'm going to do the baskets in cinnamon cider. Do you see how much faster it goes? And I think the colors are very vibrant as well. Okay. The other thing I used is I did a little bit of the tree branches. So I just kind of did some inside the tree. We're going to do the inside green, but I just thought that would be really pretty. Okay, and then for the tree, we're going to do Pear Pizzazz. Let me see how much I have. I'm going to need a little bit more. And you're literally just going to go in and you're just going to touch some of these branches, okay? And there's some over here in the flowers if you want those. And there's some down here. And you can do some here. So I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz, which is the lighter, and then I'm going to use Garden Green to give it some pop, okay? Then you just wipe your brush. I'll bring in the Garden Green. Whoop, I'm so used to I'm just going to go and what I like about doing this is it kind of gives it it makes it look real. You got two different color greens in there. And do you see what I mean as far as it being forgiving? Okay. Thank you, June. When I was playing with this, that's what I was kind of thinking. I'm like, well, you know, maybe I'll try some different coloring techniques. I don't know what people have had experience with. This one is Pacific Point, and again, we're going to do a blue bike. I really think you'd like the pencils too. Okay, so there's that. And then if you want to do a little bit of purple, maybe on the, whoops, on the flowers. I'm so used to just stamping. There we go. This is Highland Heather. You can add some purple if you want some color around the flowers. And then the other thing, I need Balmy Blue. So I'm going to use Balmy Blue, which is a light blue, to do inside the windows. And I wanted to just make it look like there's a, you know, you're looking at it from outside. So it makes it look like that's kind of like the, can you see that? So just a little tint. And then I'm going to use the gray granite to do the brick. So I am using a lot of colors. You don't have to use as many colors as I did. Get some more color in there. Squeeze the brush to get the water out. Kind of going in between the trees so you can see the shadow. I'm going to add some more. This is a very light color. And then the last thing I'm going to do, well, actually I've got two things. I'm going to use Crumb Cake to do the front of the porch. All right, make it look like that's kind of like the porch there. And then the last thing, I think I'm going to use a little bit of yellow. I'm going to use some crushed curry just to do these front pots here. And there you go. What do you think? Much quicker, I think, using the watercolor pencils. Okay, so let's bring in this card. So what I have here is a strip of DSP, and this is from the 6x6 Regal pack. to match the real red, and that is 1.5 by 5.5. And we're going to, now I have a question for you, just to get your opinion. So on this one, I did just the paper, the DSP underneath. Now on the red, so this one's going to be the red. We could do, I want to ask your opinion, we could do the real red DSP here, and then put this over. Look at that, how that door pops. Or we can also, I have a piece of Petal Pink that I did the embossing folder on, and then do this, and then do this. Which one do you like better? Do you guys have an idea which one you think would look better? Do you think there should be another layer? Do we do just the DSP and then put this on there? Or do the Petal Pink embossed layer and then stick that on, and then stick that on? Any suggestions? I am going to do the same in real red. You want to add the extra layer on it with the Petal Pink? All right, we can try it. I was playing around, and I when I was making my other one, and I thought, well, I'll ask you guys. All right, so what we'll do is we will add, now typically when I do embossed pieces, I think I told you I usually use glue, but that's okay. I have my tape runner right here. So we'll do the Petal Pink. And again, this is embossed using that timber. And then this is going to need to be cut down. Like that. And we'll add that piece. And then we have this. Now, this one is glued right down. We could pop that up. Try that one popped up. Let's try that one popped up. This. Oh, look, I used up another one, guys. All right, these ones are minis. I'm going to need to open up a fresh pack. All right, brand new pack here, guys. This one. All right, so let's try that, popping it up and see what it looks like. Okay. I just think that red door is just so pretty. All right, and then we'll put this down. There. What do you think? This one was just with the DSP, and then this one has the extra layer. I think the pink is pretty. That petal pink just kind of pops the red, don't you think? Okay, so let's get the cards out one last time. So we have this one, we have this one, and we have this one. What do you think? Pretty. And this stamp set is so easy to work with. Whether you paint it, color it, leave it plain, pop it up, lay it flat. Oh, thank you guys. Do you like the one with the petal pink added to it, that layer? Thank you, ladies. Well, I hope if you have this set, I've inspired you to try it, and I hope you'll give it a try with some of these coloring techniques. The watercolor painters are really easy to work with. They're quick. They're easy. You just use your ink pads, and then the colored pencils are a dream. They really glide. They're a lot of fun and easy to use. So I hope that you'll give it a try. And don't forget, next week is mystery stamping. I will be posting the card recipe on Sunday, and we'll do mystery stamping next week. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Take care. Bye-bye.